What up, look? What up, look? What up, look?
Yo, Raider Nation, what's up? How we doing? Happy Taco Tuesday to everybody. Let me get things situated. Man, this stuff is different now. I think I fucked up. Low season, he'll know I fucked up. Hey, you guys hear me? See me? Tell me what's up. But wanted to have a quick live. Want to have a live and talk about you about the recap on the game, the disappointing loss that we seen. Uh, I'm disappointed. I don't know how. I'm sure all Raider Nation was disappointed, but where we go from here? Trade deadline is today. It might be done already. I don't know what the timetable was on it, but I know it ended on Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, and I got a couple of responses that I'm looking at right now. I'll tell everybody what's up in a little bit, but we thank you for being here. Raider Nation Live Power generated by Raider Nation Live. That's three people we haven't been around lately. Been disappointing, hard time to talk about Raider Nation, Raider football in general. I love the nation. I love the people that I talk to. Love the people that communicate with, and then people that I have a show with. What up, Low? My boy Low, and then my boy Raider Gabe, man. He's extra happy, positive thing going through his territory over there in the South in Los Angeles that the Dodgers won. I'm very happy that he's feeling good about that. He's all happy. My daughter just got back from the parade over there, and all there was in the stadium. And my daughter's a Dodger fan. She brought some towels and some pictures of people and stuff. Yeah, well, I guess it was a great time. I was a good World Series. I'm not a real baseball guy anymore, but it was a good World Series. I watched it. So congrats to all the Dodger fans over there. Don't give a fuck about you. But next thing is besides Raider football, we're gonna talk about the Lakers. That you're LA, I give a shit about the Lakers either. So, but anyways, what's up, man? I'm Coach Gravy, Raider Nation Live. Watch us. We're gonna start getting you some dates and times where we're gonna start coming up talking about. We've been here. It's just so bad. Energy that we're having. And I know content creators they want to talk, they have their shows, and they got to be consistent. Raider Nation Live, we're we're being consistent, but it's this team is hard to talk about. And the way I am is I'm not a negative guy, but you would assume I am. But I did surprisingly seeing positive things in this game. I watched it again. I watched the game twice after I had my responses before. Everybody is upset and pissed off about the the result of the game and what they come up with and things like that. But my scenarios of the game and what I thought about it, there is some bright things, and some of us will be surprised about what I figured was what I've been saying about people, and you're gonna be surprised because my analysis of this team is game by game, and then of your hereditary, fucking up or messing up. I'm gonna try to keep it eh, as low, less cussing as I can. But it's a show and it's on YouTube, so I can say whatever I want. But respond to that, please. Let me know how you feel, and where do we go from here? What are we gonna do from here? The aspirations of being of going to the playoffs and then having hope of being in the playoffs is pretty much out of the question. We're not playing like that. I wouldn't want unless we were balling out of control and things were running right and we had a super mojo, a lightning bolt got shot up our ass and we were just a team that was dominating all phases of the game. If we just played a stretch of games where we were barely winning and we still look bad going back and into the playoffs, I would question that and I wouldn't even want to be in the playoffs. So I'm gonna hear some things from you, and I'm gonna respond to them. I'm gonna say what's up, and then we'll see what's going on. But first, I want to let everybody know that this is Coach Gravy. Radio Nation Live is gonna be in full effect. We're gonna start talking about it once Gabe gets off his little Dodger hiatus and wants to get a little sad. We'll talk about this team because I know what Gabe's feeling. I'm feeling the same way. It's just that I'm willing to talk about it, and Low is too. So, want to give props to my boys that have been holding it up and yeah, especially Low, man. Low been packing it in with the Raider Nation Live show, and big ups to him, man. I've been busy. I've been coaching football. The team I was coaching is in the playoffs now, so really they did. I did my job, so there's really no need for me anymore. So it goes to a different level during playoffs. The coaches really focus on themselves and do what they got to do. But big ups to Roosevelt High School here in Fresno, made the playoffs, playing Exeter this weekend. I'll be there to watch it. So you guys, if you live in Fresno, go check that game out. The great high school playoffs and shit going on now. Go watch football. Go watch some good football. It's great. Fresno State's doing well. Beat Boise State. That's just my teams. But whatever city you're in, whatever atmosphere you're in, go watch. Go watch your nephews. Go watch little baby peewees. You driving by a football game, go check it out. Get you better, get you some good football in you before you come watch Thursday. But we'll talk about that too. So um from everybody right off the get, I want to tell everybody that's here with me right now. We got about 20 up in the house right now on a pop-up show. I just did this real quick. uh for the first one up in the house is for Shirley's, man. Robert Pena, what's up? Great moderator for the show. What up, Robert Pena? John Leon, haven't seen you in a minute. Seen your last show, but hey, man, good to see you, brother. Raider Nation Nightmare, what's up, man? How you doing? Haven't seen you in a minute. Haven't seen you in a minute, Nation Nightmare. My Fresno pod. RL Phantom, what's up, man? Got my boy Raider Paul. I'm gonna get to your question. Alfred Marquez, Jason Downs, what's up, man? Good knowledge, bro. I've been hearing you for a minute. Matthew and Alex, what's up? Hi, bro. East Coast Gridiron, what's up, bro? Seeing your all your input, man, on news and stuff, man. Great concept there. Great concept. I'll read your stuff in a minute, bro. I just want to tell everybody what's up. So Real TV, what's up? Maria Decent, what's up? How you doing? Alicia Simmons. She's saying I'm a hottie. What up? What up, Mike Guerrero? I haven't been called a hottie in a long time. Just my wife. Keep your head up, Ashley says. Raider Paul, he talking about fuck the Dodgers. I think he's a Texas guy. Bugsy Raider, what up? Jeff, what up, man? 9:05 in the morning, man. 9, 10, 11, 12 is noon over there. How you doing, bro? He wanted to say what's up to the chat. Jason Downs. You got a great show, man. I've been watching you. I watch my boys and I watch you. And you been having some picking on Chris. I like that because I would do the same. I don't know how Chris could say, "Yeah, I watched the game," but then talk about it. His internet went out, but he talked about the games. I didn't think we really played that. I thought we played good. How you know, Chris? How you know? But I love Chris, man. I love Chris, bro. I watch all that stuff. But I got some things that I seen right here. One of them I seen a lot of Raiders, a lot of cheering. Big ups to the people that still got confidence and seeing what's up. But I'm gonna tell you guys something. There's some good things that happened for this team yesterday. I thought you guys ain't gonna believe this. I got some game balls to give out. I got some game balls to give out, and one of them is obviously is Brock Bowers. Ultimate big fat inflated football for Brock Bowers. We know that Brock Bowers is one of the best players in the NFL. We have to know that. We have to say that. And my boy Jason Downs comes up with the first question pop up of the day. He gonna say, "Gravy, it doesn't bother me as much as it did 10 years ago. We're used to this shit. All it's older generation, 55 years old, a little bit older, older than 55. We've seen the greatness of the Raiders and what they were. You young bucks, 30 and under, you ain't seen shit. You just been losing. I was 9 years old, but I became a Raider fan. I seen the Super Bowl, and it was great. We were a great team. Football has evolved. They're all different. Football is way different, and it doesn't bother me as much either. It would bother me, Jason, but I was involved in something else. So I didn't really concentrate on the Raiders. I'm done with that, and now I did, and it wasn't. I was happy, but we lost, and we're just used to losing. That's the thing, and I don't like that. I'm not a loser. I got a problem with people saying we should have tied the fucking game. What's up with that loser? Tie is a fucking loss to me. That's like participation trophies and shit. Like nowadays. Oh, everybody should. If I had a young child right now, and people might hit me on this, if I had a young child right now, and I was on a team, the babies, not 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, and they didn't keep score, I'll fucking take my kid out that league quick. I would. The competition and wanting to win in football nowadays is gone. And you know what it is? And I shouldn't say this, is that you as a father teaching your boy how to play football, mothers can't do that. Mothers can rah and bring you orange slices and shit like that and pump you up a little bit, but ain't nothing like your pops can do. I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but that's the way I was brought up, and that's the way football used to be. That's why you got this wussy football nowadays, crying, bitching, wearing watches and shit like chains, and I don't give a fuck who you play. If you do shit like that, I ain't with it. But if you ball out, you Justin Jefferson, you got shit in your mouth. Fuck it, I don't care. You're an exception. You are. But Randall Paul saying salute Gravy. What's up, man? How you doing? Matthew and Alex is saying hi. Bowers deserves a QB. Now we're on this other shit. East Coast Gridiron saying, "What's up, Gravy?" East Coast Gridiron got a lot of good input, a lot of great show. We got called haters, and me and you were right about the radio. Yes, we were, sir. Here we go. We sellers. Now, Jason Downs, you bring up a good point that I wanted to bring up first because I'm not going to have a long show because I got to go back to work, but I just wanted to say some things. Now, Jason Downs is saying Jacoby. Now, Jacoby is pretty much gone. Pretty much. But this is what I don't know who is really running this team. You get away with that shit, Paul. You start saying shit like that on my show, I borderline getting blocked, homeboy. Loser. Raider Paul, you say a lot of crazy things. I really don't think you mean it. But somebody is gonna see that shit and they're gonna say, "Fuck it. We don't need a tank, bro. We a bad team. We just a bad team, and we need way more than a quarterback. Just get a quarterback every year. That's our problem. There is not a quarterback in this draft that I see that any team should tank for. Yeah, that any team should tank for. Not I see right now. So why tank? We're gonna pick high anyways. It's leadership. You know, as a coach, Brock showed his leadership Sunday. Now we question Chip Kelly, but when he gets a dude, when he gets a guy, and we see this, when he gets a guy just like Brock Bowers, you see, I thought Chip Kelly called a great game yesterday. Who says not? What say you? Don't tell me, was there a problem with the play calling with Chip Kelly? And who blames Chip Kelly? Do we really know what Chip Kelly was calling and what he wasn't calling, or what, you know, well, we could go down to the 2-point conversion. Look at that 2-point conversion. How many dudes did you see open? All of them, basically. They worked on that play, specifically on goal line for that defense, and probably knew that Jacksonville would do that. What happened? The the ball got tip block, but Lockett was wide open, wide open. He could have went somewhere else, but he eyeballed Lockett. Lockett was open. All of them were open. The guy up front was open. That was Jacoby. Ascengenti was open. No problem. No problem with that play call. No problem with that play call at all. And I thought that it was a good play. He got called good. Hey, my boy Mike said he's going to the game Thursday. Man, you going with Pyro, bro? Reddy Paul said he didn't even watch the game. So why are you talking about it? Why are you talking about tanking? I don't want to care about the word. He agreed with the other play call. And my boy Rodrigo, what's up, man? How you doing? He It's been a long time, Rodrigo, since I talked to you, bro. Keep coming, bro. I'm gonna be on for a minute. I'll be on more often. I'm doing stuff different. So thank you for being here, man. And the, just look at what Chip Kelly is doing when he got a baller out there. When he got a baller out there, that just makes my point better. It was like when we were saying Chip Kelly's running college shit. He was doing college shit with Brock Bowers, with a dude like Brock Bowers. Chip Kelly's playbook opened up like 1,000 more pages got in his playbook. I know. And so when you're limited on who you have out there, that it becomes a problem. So now we know what the real Chip Kelly can do with just one guy. With just one guy, with Brock Bowers doing things that he's supposed to do, right? And he had an all out badass game. You see, Brock. It wasn't just because it was Jacksonville. Brock Bowers could have did that against anybody. Brock Bowers could have did that against the best defense in the NFL. He could have did that against Cleveland. He gonna do it against Denver. But they got better players. Denver has better defensive players, and then Brock Bowers is gonna get probably sold up, locked up like he did last year. Hey Hank, what's up, man? Thank you, bro. Thank you for saying that, man. I really appreciate it. Geno Smith just throwing it. See Raider Paul throwing it to Lockett was a he was open, dude. Look at it again and see. Wide open Lockett was when he was getting ready to release the ball. Lockett was wide open. So was Jacoby, and so was Aston Genty. They were all open. So great play call. It was at the right situation. They were in a perfect defense for it. It just got bashed down. Those dudes are taught to 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 put their hands up right there. God damn, this coffee's good. My big ups to my wife buying great quality coffee. Fuck, hang on, gotta take another sip of it. Great coffee, great cigar, semi all right football. But game ball definitely goes to Brock Bowers. Believe it or not, I thought that JPJ had a good game, a good game. And this is something I also want to tell you guys something. I really concentrated on Meredith today, this game. On the second time I watched it, and I have to say I'm gonna have to agree with the chat or everybody that's been telling me stuff different. He is not a center. He is not a center. He's a guard. He has footwork like a guard. He moves like a guard. He is a guard, really. But um, I understand why he's a center, but that's a problem. And I realized that. I don't know if I was wrong about saying that, but it was a different situation. That if we're gonna have this, and it's not changing. So, and that's not the reason why we're losing here, folks. And we're not losing because of this switch. But I want to reiterate what why you know we don't have a legit center and why are we making these moves. It's because who who is in charge of our personnel? Is it looks like to me that it's Pete Carroll, and that's not the way it should be. That's why, like Jason Downs reiterated, is why we have been the same way for years. Because if you look at it, the last 3, 4 coaches, it goes back to Gruden that our general manager is not in control of personnel, and that's what they do. That's their responsibility. We're getting all these fucking Seattle guys, and I don't think that Spytek is agreeing with this shit, and he's getting pushed to do it. You know, we get Tyler Lockett, and as much as the way I feel about Dante Thornton, he's not even dressed out. He's not dressed. Okay, I didn't see number 18 out there. The special teams. He didn't get no play at wide receiver. Tyler Lockett took reps from our young guys. And right now, in the situation that we're in, we should be presenting these guys out right now. I think that the season is what it is right now. There's no future in us. We can improve. We can improve, but I don't think that it's gonna be a situation to where we're gonna be on a playoff push. I think we should be selling right now and getting better, getting draft picks to get better. But it ain't like we're gonna do a flash sale but we're rebuilding what have you. We're rebuilding. We're gonna get rid of Max. That's a rebuild. You don't keep Max around and pay him all this money and not a rebuild. But the rebuild and Pete Carroll's time and the deal, dude, he's 74 years old. Rebuild for Pete Carroll. I don't think he's ready for that or in for that. We were lied to again by a guy that says, I ain't in this for the long haul. We know that, Pete. But so then we were. What's happening right now is different. It's different. You know, who's in control here? You're getting your guys, so you're in control of the fucking personnel. I would, I would go get fuck. You want to give another one pick for fucking uh, a three pick for fucking Kenneth Walker and fucking Charbonnet, or if you want to go Seahawk way, or the Jigba, go get a go wait go do first round two first round picks and get in Jigba. Do that if you're gonna be in charge of. If you want Seattle guys, get guys that ain't old. And you're taking away your future, and you pick these guys. You know what I'm saying? You pick these guys. And my boy Jeff says, "LOL, John for 2 games and started one." So you remember how he played game one, and you a goof. I don't know who you talking to, Jeff. I don't know. I don't look at the Giants. Jeff, it would be talking live, and New England must be confused. Yeah. Guys, will be. I don't know if you argue with each other. East Coast grid on barely. Okay, they're agreeing with each other. No, Paul probably fighting. I can go for whoever I want. Cowgirls is in Dallas. So Raider Paul's in Texas talking about the Dallas Cowboys got smashed yesterday. All right. But telling me how good Gino, Dante Thornton, and this team would be 13 wins, he said at one point. East Coast Grid, he was telling me how good Gino, Dante was. I would, I would, I never got anything in that type atmosphere was better than what we had before. And he's not playing like it. I don't give a shit if he had 4 touchdowns or not, dude. You lead the league in interceptions, and that's not the best stat to be in. And you topped it off with another one. You know, you can't lose the game and say, "Well, Gino had a good game," especially as a quarterback. You got to situate it in different things. But going off what I said, because the chat is balling, and if you're gonna sit here, I thought JPJ had a good game. You know, and I've been saying that JPJ hasn't had a good game. So and Meredith is not a center, and I don't think that he's gonna be in the future. I think we're gonna get a center. Man, my fucking dog going crazy over here. Hey guys, let me go see what's wrong with my dog over here. I'm sorry about that, folks. Hope you guys didn't leave. My dog goes crazy. She never barks, and then that was a delivery. Uh, but anyways, what I was what I was reading and rating at is that what are we talking about now? Because I don't forgot. But I'm hearing Gino is ass. My guy is saying Gino had a productive game with 4 touchdowns. You can't knock that, Jeff. But the whole season is a big disappointment, and he's not playing well. He's obviously got figured out by defenses that he doesn't go through his progressions. His progression on that last play was just all Lockett, even though Lockett was open. Oh, I was talking about the offensive line, and Lockett was open, dude. You look at that play, you can't knock it or say anything bad about it. He threw it to the right guy. He was open, but it just got batted down, and we could have won the game. Shouldn't have been in that situation. To me, we got to start looking at doing something with Carlson. Carlson is not money, and this what I want to do is that you know I, I'm kind of getting I'm kind of getting we got people hanging around from different regimes, and as much as regimes that we go through, players that are just hanging around. Like, what the fuck do we have Kuntz for? The promise of Kuntz is gone. I don't even notice if Kuntz is in there. Tyree Wilson. What the fuck are we hanging on to this guy for? If people want him and want to trade for him, rid of him. I think Kuntz hasn't recovered mentally and physically with his. It ain't like they're doing extra shit for Kuntz. Poor Max Crosby. As much shit as I talk about Max Crosby, you know, I expect Max Crosby to beat double teams. Now, if he gets triple team, it can't be from another lineman. It's from a running back. So we think that Max Crosby can't beat a running back. The best beat that. But in all favoritism to Max Crosby, I understand why we would say that about Max Crosby, but I don't say Max Crosby deserves better. I think Max Crosby needs to play better. Beat that shit. And I see Max Crosby back off double teams. If he's out to play, that's it. He does it on his own on plays. Yes, Max Crosby doesn't have no help from somebody else. And all these other top of the notch defensive ends, pass rushers, they have help. But we have Adam Butler. What is flash sale of all these dudes that just repeatedly don't do shit for the Raiders? We let them hang around. What the fuck are we hanging around for Tyree Wilson? If somebody wants him, get rid of the dude. And who gives a fuck what he does? You know? Who cares what he does? Get rid of Malcolm Kuntz. Malcolm Kuntz is not even close to what homeboy that we got from Jack, the number one pick, was it Chase on? He ain't even doing close to what he did. We should have kept Chase on. What are our linebacking core doing? We got the worst linebacking core in the NFL. Missed tackles everywhere. From Roberts yesterday or Sunday. How many tackles did Roberts miss? Devin White. Well, he got 16 whatever tackles. Great game from Devin White. Great game from Paul Mile. Great game from Darian Porter. That's what I want to see. Get rid of this bullshit Kai Blue Kelly. You got the decorated worst corner in the NFL starting for you for 3 games when you got a rookie right there that's better than him from the get. And when the first game he gets in there, I'm making tackles, making plays on defense, keep his ass in there. I better not ever see Kai Blue Kelly out there again. Darian Porter should start. And a matter of fact, beyond my mind, Stokes out there making some key hits and tackles. What's up? That's what I'm talking about. But the main dude, our problem with we got the 32nd worst coverage secondary. We stopped the run, bro, but we got gashed by missed tackles. Our linebackers are missing tackles. Our key Mike linebackers are making missed tackles. That's bad. And it's happening consecutively. It's happening all game, every game. Tyler Mao and Darian Porter and Eric Stokes should be leading the team in tackles. Yes, Roberts had the most tackles, I believe, or Devin White had the most tackles, but Devin White's a Willie. And if you guys agree with me on this, if you guys agree with me on this isn't what I'm seeing from Patrick Graham is different. The Patrick Graham zone is nickel. We're not playing that. We're doing some two. We're playing a shell, and it's leaving the middle of the field wide open again. It's just worse than last year. Now we're getting gashed up the middle. You know, and we're getting gashed up the middle concept on basic pro style plays. We're getting beat and like with traps and counter inside gap plays. There's nothing special about what people are doing against us. If you really look at it, if you know football, Gridiron will look at this, or maybe Jeff will look at it. Jason Downs will look at things like that. And we're getting beat by basic trap play. They're not doing anything special as far as their running game is concerned. They're just, pin and pulling. They're really not even pulling anybody. They're just blocking gaps and getting our guys out the way. Our defensive line ain't doing shit. And no wonder Max Crosby is inconsistent. No wonder Max Crosby's not getting there because he ain't got no help. And all the shit that I've been saying about Max Crosby, my expectation for Max Crosby is probably greater than everybody else's. But the dude, you're getting paid a lot of money. Beat that shit. Beat it. And, and another thing, I mentally noted that we got a lot of people saying we got to run this football. We cannot run the football, bro. We cannot run the football with this offensive line that we got. Everything, everything that acid gent. You know what? If I hear anybody, and I'll get on another show. If I hear somebody on Jeff or Jason's show or whatever, and they say that Austin Gentry's a bust, I expect them to first of all counter and saying what the fuck does he got in front of him, and I know they'll say that, but I want in fucking 9 games, and you're saying this dude's a fucking bust. The dude is doing this. I'm amazed on what he's doing, specifically what he's doing. Dude has 100, probably 150. I was on my live last time, and I was 100 something carries. 9 games, 100 carries. Some people had 103 games. This is the 9th game. It's gonna be the 10th game of the season. And the dude does it by himself. There is nothing in front of him open. You should cherish that shit and tell me what running back did that. The fucking wearing gold jackets right now. You tell me that, Marshall Falk or LaDainian Tomlinson had wonderful, great years as good as Jetty. Aston Jetty's a rookie quarterback, right? A rookie running back right now that's leading everybody with those amount of carries. We're bitching that he's not getting the ball enough. There's motherfuckers out there getting ball. They don't even have the yard. Your dude almost has 500 yards. He's gonna get 1,000 yards with the bullshit carries he gets. 2 games he got the most he got was 21 carries, 22 carries in a game. There's guys that got 200 carries already with 300 yards. This dude has almost 5 with 120 carries. Tell me, you know, people labeled him a generational type guy. I don't say that because generational is the best, bro. And they're wearing jackets. Who came? You think Marshall Falk isn't generational? He didn't have a good first year. In 9 games, people saying this dude's a fucking bust. What's your Raiderism at? He the best. He the best upside we got in Raider Nation. I don't want to hear no shit. If you could, we cherish Max Crosby and say that Max Crosby don't have no fucking help. What the fuck you think Genti's doing? What are we talking about here, bro? What are you guys talking? I'm hearing this shit. I'm hearing this shit that Genti is fucking bust and he can't do this and that. But what the? I don't want to yell, but you got to be out your mind if you're saying that about Genti right now. The dude got the ball. My boy reiterated. That's all much. Jason Downs on his stats. Dude got 30 carries in 4 games, bro. He got 20 carries, I believe, in 2 games. One he got 150 something yards. That was the Bears game. We're saying, oh, we could have got a running back later on in the draft. Yes, I understand your meaning. Okay, but this dude right here, it was a great pick. I don't think anybody's arguing with that. But if you're that type guy that's thinking that Max Crosby needs fucking help, this dude is doing shit without it. Without it. And watch him run, bro. Concentrate on his running. What he's doing. It's fucking amazing. I love it. That's the future. We got 2 guys with 2 years experience. Right? Not even 30 games in their NFL blood that's gonna lead the NFL and something in part of their life in football. That future is great for us. All we need is a fucking guy to guide them and to push. Maybe 1 or 2 fucking offensive linemen, bro. This trade that we got coming from Evan Neal, a great. Do it. I wouldn't want to leave the Giants are a good team, but they're unfortunate. But they ain't got an Aston Jensen. Every team in the fucking NFL right now would love to have Aston Jensen. And I'll put everything on it. I was gonna say as pause. My boy Redder Gay, what's up, man? Man, I started to think you didn't like me no more, bro. Because I beat you in fantasy and the Raiders lost. Defense lost us the game on Sunday. That's a part of it, but my main, you got to look at it like this: that Carlson lost that game for us, bro. Facts. If Jason Downs is in his facts, and I know he is, he has to look at if a kicker misses an extra point. Okay. Now this is free game right here, folks. This is free game from Coach Graves. I know because I've been in this situation all the time. And I thought back, how many times did a kicker miss a fucking extra point? And you lost the game. How many times have you seen that shit? If Jason Down is really on this shit, and I know he is, that you could look at the look at the analytics of it, and you can see, yo, check this out. The times that a kicker misses a fucking pussy ass field goal, and you lose the football game by 1 or 2 or something. You have to go for 2 to win the game. Okay, check it out. And he's done this. It made me repeat back. You're missing 3 field goals against Kansas City. We could have won that game, even though JPJ fucked up that snap or whatever. That we could have won that game. We lost by what? 8? How much? 9 field goals? Ooh. 3 field goals, 9 points. Ooh. Wouldn't have been in that situation to go for 2. And you got to look at that, bro. You got to look at time of possession. We are the weakest team in time of possession. You got to look at the analytics of football. Now, it's hard for me to be analytical. It's hard. it's hard for me to be analytical at times, but you have to be. You have to look at situations that, hey, this is a good time to go for a field goal. This is a good time to do this. That's when that dude kicked that field goal before halftime. I thought that was it, bro. That motivation of breaking a record of a field goal and the just the mojo of it, you're like, fuck, these motherfuckers are gonna be unstoppable in the second half. Right? And then you can see that mattered. That mattered. That confidence of that team that we could do this shit. And then what the Raiders would do is, oh man, what else could go fucking right? That happens in football, especially with these dudes. They love the game and they love playing it. They get paid for it, and I don't take nothing away from them dudes. But shit like that happens. Wow, that's like they stab you, but as halfways, and they still got they're talking shit. They're saying what, what now, and then at the end of the game they just jab like that. That's what it is, man. You get stuck halfways. I'm not a pause guy, but I think I should have said it right there. Here we go, my boy Jeff. Caution is not the same anymore. Yes, I agree with you, man. That really hurt us right there. That makes your point. And if you look, Jeff, I haven't looked, but to me, in the situations that I've been in over the years, bro, if you miss an extra point or two extra points, you're definitely gonna lose the game if you miss two extra points. And I know one, the odds of you winning a football game, unless you're playing an inferior team, you should not be missing those type. That dude should not be missing those type extra points. That's your house. Ain't no wind, ain't no elements. What the fuck you missing that shit for? Now I know if you guys know this, I know that, and I don't want to be talking about kickers. You kickers don't. They're not with everybody. Their practices are different. They're not with everybody, rah all this bullshit at practice and doing all that bullshit. They're not. They come in 9, 10 o'clock, and after they gonna play golf before they come out to practice. They're separated. They can have kickers meetings. You know, they're guys with good legs. They practice. They do their own shit, but it's different. It's different. Now, as our guy, I'm sure he practices, and I'm sure he didn't mean to do that shit, but it hurt us. We could have won a game with that. We lost 2 games by 1 point. Now I don't know if special teams was a part of the factor. I think it was against the Bears. But speaking of special teams, I gotta give it up. One of my game balls goes to Mostart. Mostart put us in good field position. That's why. And then I want you guys to know this about football. And if that's why our time of possession was low, and that matters. And sometimes it's a good thing. So some people misconstrue time of possession. They had the ball longer because look at the overtime. We got the ball with 3 minutes left and 15 minutes. We got the ball with 3 minutes left, just a little bit over 3 minutes. They had the ball the whole fucking time right there. Our defense should have stopped that shit. I hear people saying that defense was gas. Yes, they were gas because they couldn't stop nobody on third down. And we said that they had 16 third down opportunities, I believe. Mike Guerrero said Myers is gone. I believe that. I'm very surprised that Myers played. To be honest with you, I'm very surprised that Myers played. There we go. Hank said Carson is 12 for 15 this year. He missed 3 this year. That's not good, bro. For getting paid the money, he's one of the highest paid kickers out there. That's not good. That's not good at all. Here we go. He said, "You want your tick kicker on their own by themselves? They have a rarely themselves only to win a game." But you're by yourself. That means your confidence should be high. You should be ready to kick a basic ass extra point. There's no excuse for that, bro. There's no excuse for that. Missing an extra point. That's a short field goal. You think that I'll be even more pissed if Carlson hit the 68 and then missed a fucking extra point. I'll be pissed, dude. I'll be saying, cut that motherfucker right now. Cut him. That's bad, bro. You don't miss that. Is it the first half? Yeah, that was a quick game. That game was quick. The overtime lasted longer than everything, but the Jacksonville had the ball the whole time. Jacksonville had the ball. Fucking, we got the ball with like almost 4 minutes left, and we scored. We got something. Got that. With Brock Bowers in there, we're talking all this shit that you know we can't run the football, folks. So when you're in a situation to where why can't we run the ball? The only time I thought we should have run the ball was at 4th and 1. Was it third or 4th and 1? And Gino threw that fucking crazy old that uh, Michael Mayer had to like twist and shit like that. He shouldn't have did that. It was a long ball. We should have ran the football right there. And then that stopped it from scoring. We could have got a good little scoring position right there. But I thought Pete Carroll called a great game. Got called a basic good game. But the reason we we can't sit there and say, "Hey, we got to run the football," when our running back is doing all that shit for himself. And stats will prove me wrong that our offensive line is blocking good in the run. It's because what Genty's doing. A lot of recognition for offensive lines comes from the running back. So Genty is making that offensive line look very good. Very good. He shouldn't have had the yards that he got. He did that shit for boy. That boy's a bulldozing motherfucker. He laying the wood on folks. He laying the wood, and I love seeing that. Man. But I feel bad for him, and I understand what Chip Kelly's doing. We are not blocking for this guy. He's doing it all by himself. So why would you put him through that? You're not confident. But this other motherfucker, number 89 over here, this motherfucker's doing stuff. He's getting stuff done. I could dissect because he's moving. He's moving, and Genty's banging. And I love the bang, but is that really, really reliable with the? We just gotta help the guy. We say help Max Crosby. Let's help that gem we got in the back, and we'll be better. You got to run the football, but don't run it if it's no use. Then we're just in a bitch and say, "Oh, here we go, first down run." Put someone good in front of them so first down could be a 2nd and 2 and 3. We've seen that from Jacksonville. 2nd and 3, 2nd and 1. That was ATN and Tootin out there and their offensive line getting at our defensive line. That's what it was. Why can't we do that? Why are we always in 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 12? Second down's a big down for me. For me, third down is even more. Then you're on a 3rd and long. Then you got to pass the ball. It's so evident. You got to throw the football. And Chip Kelly throwing these great plays of bubble screens and flats to Austin Genty and the flats and things like that, having them do some digs and bubble screens and end around. That end around with Brock Bowers was an amazing call. It showed that Brock Bowers isn't real fast, but hey, what do you expect from a guy like that? He's not there to be fast. He's there to catch the football. He gets open. Amazing player right there. We're lucky to get him. We're lucky to have that guy because I know people were pissed off that we got him. But we got to figure out, folks. We got to figure out, folks, who is running this team. Who is really running this team? Are we gonna let our young and it ain't like Spike Tech is just a nobody, man. Yeah, we got a guy that was primed and was one of the top GMs to get on another team, assistant GMs to be on another team. He was top of the line, and I don't think that we're letting him do that. And it's obvious we get lucky. That the it's evident that we're not seeing, who's in charge here. It looks like Pete Carroll's in charge because he's getting his guys. He trusts Lucky. Otherwise, we would have either did nothing, right, or we're playing young guys. Hey, what's up with my boy Cash Lord, man? What's up, bro? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, bro. I'll be saying a little baby sound a little bit. When is that lose live? Check my hair. Yeah. He seen that. You was at the game, huh, my boy? There you go. Yep, yep, Rock. Everybody want to see. Salute to you, bro. Much love to my boy Castro. Hope you had a great time, man. You and wifey. I hope you had a great time. Here we go, Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Rocky looking to add quarterback in a trade. Can we send him Gino? I don't think so, bro. Jay, uh, McCarthy hasn't really. Hey, man, the way Gino's playing right now, bro, I'll take a look at McCarthy. He's young, but he been hurt. Sauce Gardner to the Colts. See, the Jets are unloading. Jets are unloading. Why can't we unload? You know, did y'all see what Max Crosby, was that a goodbye letter? We deserve better and shit like that. Don't people say that about him? He deserves better. So we're gonna root for the team that Max is on. Are we gonna be like Wi-Fi and start wearing their jersey and start, like he does Carl and shit? We gonna do that shit. If he gets traded to Dallas, we gonna wear a 98 for Dallas and represent him on your shows. Fuck that. I ain't gonna do that. You get 2 picks from Myers. What's that? Sauce Gardner went to the Colts. Ooh, that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. You gotta trade. No, that and coaches, one of the best teams in the NFL right now. The quarterback is playing amazing. Pittman's getting busy. I'm trying to get Pittman in fantasy, bro. I don't know if it's gonna work. Yep, they're in it to win it. And Sauce Gardner is kind of a disappointment, but he's with the Jets. He's getting work. Need some help. That defense is pretty good on Indy. They talking about Hank. You talking about Myers or Mayer? You talking about the tight end? He's out there, but I wouldn't trade him. But obviously, them two in the game is dominant, bro. It's dominant, and I don't think he's as expendable as what we have to give. We won't. Why are we keeping Kuntz? Why are we keeping Tyree Wilson? Why Colton Miller's as an asset for our team. Now we trade away Colton Miller, we're gonna have to find ourselves another tackle, a young tackle that's dominant like him. I proved you the PFF grades on Colton Miller. He's top 5. You know, and we wanted to trade him. You might get a lot, but I agree with Jason Downs. I think wherever Max Crosby, if we trade Max Crosby, and then that'll be the epitome. Besides our young guys, if we trade Max Crosby, that'll be full blown rebuild. We got two gems on offense. We got Colton Miller there. Okay. Now, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do to build this team with those picks? But then you go back to say who's in charge of this? Spytek should be in charge of this. Why I don't see that Spytek is doing as running this team because we're getting Seattle guys. So that's all fucking Pete Carroll. It's not bad on Pete Carroll. It's just like, hey, bro, let me do my work. Dude, he needs to go to Mark Davis. And I know Mark Davis will say, hey, Pete Carroll, okay, you personnel, you got this. You're cool. I respect your being here football for a while. I cool, right? But why you got this young guy that's motivated to and sees young talent and is talented at what he does, not to make decisions for this team? So I think that's happening. Telling you I'm all in for trading away players that give us the biggest bang for your buck for picks this year. Yeah, I'm to do it. Yeah, and there's the time to, because we're that bad, Jeff. We're bad, and I think the guys that are untouchable are guys that we know are young. I don't think that Max Crosby is untradeable. I don't think that JPJ is untradeable. He's a young bright spot of this team. And you agree with me that he's not the best. He shows he's a part of a whack ass bad offensive line, and we got to take consideration for that because it's not just what we label you a superstar automatically without doing shit. He was hurt a quarter of the season last year. That he came in already on a pedestal, and you look at the grades on the dude, it ain't good. He's mid, and I'm sure you looked at that. I what I think of JPJ is not whatever the Raider Nation thinks of JPJ. And if you really look at football, you just like the way he is. But look at how he plays, and then you'll see. But all in all, he had a really good game Sunday. He had a really good game. I think Glaze had a really good game Sunday. If you look at it, okay, and he hasn't had a good season. He's in his second year. JPJ is in his second year. See, are these guys untradeable? I don't know if you're another team and you're really looking at an offensive lineman, you're not rushing out there for JPJ. We think he's the world, you know, but we could trade him. Maybe somebody might overreact and love him just like we do. But hey, all right, you give us a third round pick for JPJ. He was a second round pick. Fuck it. That have you get downgrade? If you get a fifth round pick for JPJ, that means he didn't play very well. They don't think highly of him as much. They're trading for him. Say, hey, we need to plug this guy in real quick. You're gonna go to a good team, a better team, but you ain't gonna see Cleveland. They're gonna trade away for picks. Bad teams are trading away. Jets get rid of Sauce Gardner so they could get a number one pick or a number two pick. They're not gonna you're not going to see Detroit give away players or Buffalo give away players or they're going to take from weaker teams. So the Raiders should get rid of their. If we gave up this season, we're going to get rid of players. And there's a bunch of players that are just taking up fucking money and space. You know, Jones, Wilson, Parham, Jackson Powers. Was that's who you get rid of? I think that they're off limits. And I would put, Colton Miller got signed. That was a great move by Spytek. Spytek did some good things, bro. Like not signing Jacoby Myers. I think that's a good thing. I think that Jacoby Myers should be paid. But if he's fighting thinking he can get paid more, you are what you are. So standing your ground is cool. You know, that's what I think Spytek is doing. He's standing his ground, saying, "You know what? Fuck that, dude. You ain't worth this. I'm gonna pay you this," and then stand your ground, let him go, get a fourth pick later on, compensatory pick. Unless somebody says, "I'll give you a second or a third for Jacoby, bye, see ya." You know, if you get traded, you're not gonna get the compensatory pick. If he goes, you get it. So you either go wait for that or trade him. Those two are the best, bro. Off limits. Get a lot of picks from Max or hold on to him until you can, which they did. They just restructured his rookie deal, bro. He got an extension, so it's not. They could get rid of him, and it's what they call team friendly. It's not outrageous, but Max Crosby isn't playing like he's getting paid. If you think he is, then I think you got Max Crosby goggles on, or he can't do no wrong and shit like that. Kind of just like JPJ. JPJ's already a once a Raider, always a Raider, shit like that. You know, he could cut out. He could cut out and say "fuck the Raiders" and people will forgive him and bring him back. If you look at the stats and what he is, he's not even close to the best guards that we could say, hey, this guy means something. You know, where he was involved in the 32nd worst running game in football, and he still is involved. If we didn't have Aston Gentry, it wouldn't make JPJ look so good. You know, that's what I think. Aston Gentry makes JPJ and all them other guys look pretty darn good than what they are right now. Because Ashton Jetty does a lot of shit by himself, and he's known for that. And we got to understand that before we label these guys great players, which the Raider Nation does. And I understand that because I used to do it before. Tim Brown was there was no better receiver than fucking Tim Brown. There was no to me to this day there ain't no better running back than Bo Jackson. Now there might be people that agree with me, but if you're young, you didn't watch Bo Jackson play. Could have been the best ever. He still be running right now. Colts got two firsts for Saab. Ooh, they're very desperate for that corner. That was the problem, though. That was the problem for the Colts. They got you could tell. So that's good. A little bit too high for Sauce, though. And that division, man, he might get work. I mean, Jets got two first rounds. Sorry, my moment, you sucker. They all argue with each other. Same show. There you go. Raiders New Central. What's up, bro? How you doing? Yeah, but everybody, it, it's going to be hard to realize that we're gonna sit here and say, oh, why we get rid of this guy, that guy, this guy, whatever. But we just I'm in a mode to where I'm not in this mode to where development and shit like that. And then I expected Dante Thornton to develop, but I didn't expect Dante Thornton to start. And then that was our downfall. We didn't get a better receiver. If we would have got Tyler Lockett before, then I would have been agreeing with you. You know, Lockett, Jacoby Myers, let's go. And then throw in, you know, Bash is a second round pick. Why isn't he playing, bro? Not one snap fucking against Jacksonville. And offensively. Not one. What is wrong with him? Why? And then you question Pete Carroll and Spite. Why did you pick him? If your intention is not to play him at a second round pick, that bothers me. That bothers me. And you're not using your number one pick wisely. But I understand why, because he can't. I understand Pete. I understand Chip Kelly's motive is that I can't run the football, and I hear people say, "Well, we should have ran it. We should have ran it." It's hard to. It's hard to, bro. It's hard to fucking run the football because you can't. And look at what happens when we do run the football, because Ascengenti most likely breaks through the ruckus and gets yards by himself. He's that good of a runner. He's been that good of a runner. And so if you get people in front of him that could make them easier for him, just imagine what he would do. Jason Downs, Bo Jackson, Jim Brown, ever did Emmitt Smith generation? Yes, sir. Emmitt Smith, I don't know. But he had a great line. A lot of those guys didn't have a good line in front of him. That Rams line was pretty good. That Raiders line was pretty good for Bo, but Bo was just special. Best athlete. Best athlete probably ever, bro. What up, Gravy, Christopher Raiders? Well, someone tell you we was talking about you? About how you watched the game and your internet went out? How you talk about a game you only watched one half and say they played good? What up, Chris? Love you, brother. Love your takes. How you doing? I heard you say your internet went out, but I didn't really hear the rest. How could you? How you talk about they played good and you didn't watch the second half? They didn't play that good in the second half. Bo made grown ass men fry. Yes, he did cry. Yes, he did. He made me cry when he got hurt. Saw replay. Also, you saw the highlights, but you didn't see the down plays. I know what you mean, Chris. I know what you mean. You're just getting on you, brother. I got to. I don't get to talk to you that much. I don't get to talk to you that much. I'm doing things. But anyways, folks, I just thought I let my watch the game. I watched the game twice. It came up with some my perspective of it. You know, I thought that JPJ had a good game. Been talking shit about him the whole time. You know, I've been thinking that, but he had a good game. He recouped. He recouped from the working he got from Chris Jones, and I expect you expect Chris Jones to do that, but he is so good. He just at least would have did a little bit. It's not that Chris Jones had an all stat game, but he worked JPJ. So welcome to the NFL, JPJ. Getting that, and there's more to come because the dude's in your division, and you're gonna see him again. And I'm definitely gonna watch how you do against him because Kansas City picked you out as the weak link, bro. If Meredith and Parham were weak links, wouldn't they put Chris Jones on them? No, it was just Chris Jones on JPJ. So what's going on here? You know, did Andy Reid say that dude is it what they think he is? Do it. Let's go. Let's see. Chris Jones, Hall of Famer already. You know, throw him on a JPJ, which we think it should be all world. Got worked by. If he's that good, why don't you limit him to something? Constantly pressure on Geno Smith that we didn't score no points, and he just did his job. He didn't have a big stat day. You know, stats ain't everything as far as defensive line and offensive line concerned. That's why I give not leeway to Max Crosby, but he just does things that normal players would do, normal non-productive players would do more than he does what all world defensive player of the year nominee type shit would do. It's just that we need to know, we need to Raider fans, we need to say, hey, maybe Max Crosby isn't what he is, and he can. There's gonna be such a fucking uproar and crybabyism of Max Crosby gets traded. And you know what? We're not even gonna net a lick. We're not even gonna see a lick of difference in our defense when he's not there. Yes, Gravy said that. we're gonna be the same defense with Max Crosby not in there. Somebody can get a sack out of that defense. Somebody could get a fucking tackle behind the line of scrimmage besides Max. I'm just saying. You had two number one. Shit, if Sauce Gardner got two, well, he's a DB. If Sauce Gardner got two first rounds, why could the fucking Raiders get Dallas? The thing about the Dallas trade with Max Crosby is Dallas ain't making no push to make the playoffs. Look at them last night. Look at them against Denver. They got fucked up. They got fucked up last night. Chris Jones showed JPJ what it means to guard in the NFL. Yes, sir. I believe you there, bro. The defense looks better without Max. Rock, I'm glad you agree with me. You know, I don't want to make a holler or a big ass statement that Max Crosby is doing this, but there's a not a pile of folks that say that, but I want to say fucking 98% of Raider Nation would go fucking ape shit of Max Crosby got traded. I'm that 2% that wouldn't really say, all right, let's use those number one picks as ammunition to get better because we're not doing nothing with it, dude. You know, and how could you sit there and say, "Oh, he could do better"? Yeah, go better. Go to fucking Dallas and lose fucking football games. Go. You ain't gonna go to no Detroit. You ain't. You might, but two picks, two picks, two number one picks for you, three maybe, or two number one picks and two number twos. Give me those. I'll buy. But we ain't gonna look at it like that. We'll put a seat of my number 98. And there's gonna be people wearing 98 jerseys for fucking 10 years saying we shouldn't have got rid of. He ain't better than Khalil Mack. Never will be. Never will be. Khalil Mack, I got hurt bad when because he was in a prime, bro. He wasn't getting hurt. Dude broke his fucking dislocated his fucking elbow against us. Came back 3 games later, fucking 3 sacks in one game. What's up? That's fucking Hall of Fame, bro. Okay? That's fucking Hall of Fame. Now tell me if this dude ain't close to the jizz of fucking Mac, of Khalil Mack. Not even close to the jizz of fucking Khalil Mack. Who wants to back me up on that? Fuck out. Get over it, people. Get ready. I'm not hoping that he gets traded because he's a damn good football player. But hey, bro, if we want to get better, if the Raiders want to get better, the more picks we got, and the better. The more picks we got is better. And Jeff says now's the time to trade Max. His stock is high. It's going to get right. He would do it. We're not going anywhere this year, bro. And then if he's there, if we trade him, then we'll get better. It just matters. And I trust my take. I think the dudes are bright. I like Telesco. I was cool with the other dude, with McDaniels. This just the coaching was fucked up. Who the coaches is what dictated our fucking team, bro, since Gruden. We need to stop that. We need to let the guys that are getting paid the fucking personnel get the personnel. These coaches are fucking dictating contractually. I want to make decisions on personnel. When did that start? It started with really Bill Parcells, but Bill Parcells deserved that because look what he did. These dudes ain't like Bill Parcells at all. That just, hey, that's what we got to do. We have to say, stop it. Let this dude get the team. Let him run because I know Svitek wasn't dislocking. It was Pete Carroll that did that. But anyways, man, much love to everybody. Thank you for chopping it up with me. I want to hear you guys rebut. I'll be looking at all the comments. Leave me some comments and tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, or just say, hey, Greg, what's up? Okay. Last one, fan got married to players. Yep, they do. They disagree and letting them go, and this shit has got to stop. Stop falling in love with Raider players and take the fan hat off. Goggles like this, boom. Peace out, everybody. Love you. Thank you for watching.